You've heard it said, health is wealth, so enrich your life with the Healthy Home Hour, brought to you by the Healthy Home Market every Sunday, 9 to 10 a.m. Know what's new and classic for health and wellness. Meet the local and national experts. Live God's plan to thrive, not just survive. I'm your host, Holly Adams, and welcome to the Healthy Home Hour. Morning all. Thanks for being here this Healthy Home Hour, and blessed Sunday to you. And whether you're a longtime listener or you've been just tuning in recently, I know you know that healing is, well, it's kind of an inside job. Your health and well-being, you know, it depends on exercise and also on what you put in your body, the quality of the food you eat, but it's also what's happening in your mind. They say it's about imagining and meditation. And imagine this, being playful too. And they are serious about it. Our guest today, right here joining us in our Streets 1033 studios, our guests are Dr. Elizabeth Repede, PhD, and Laura Mauriell, BSN, RN. I mean, the letters go on and on after these people's names. I want you to know. And they are from Charlotte Center for the Healing Arts, and both have years of the best education, certifications, clinicals, and personal practice to share with us today. So we're talking about the mind, body, and spirit, an environmental connection for real, true, deep health. So stay with us. Keep it locked right here on Streets 1033 for this Healthy Home Hour, brought to you by the Healthy Home Market in and around Charlotte and Davidson. But first, some news about what's up for classes at the Market's Community Wellness Center in Plaza Midwood. This Wednesday, March 4th, it's Tai Chi for Health at 6:30, just $8. So wear some easy, loose-fitting clothes and drop by on Wednesday or any Wednesday at 6:30 for Tai Chi for Health. And then Thursday, the next night, the 5th, come in to see Renee. You are going to love this woman. She's teaching detoxing stress with essential oils at 6:30. And it's free. And then Saturday, last week's guest, herbalist and martial artist Yadi Alamin, teaches a class entitled Live or Die at 6:30 to 12. That's March 7th. At 1318 A0 Central Avenue behind the Healthy Home Market. So check it all out at healthyhomemkt.com. That's for details, discounts, archive shows, our shows here, the Healthy Home Hour. You can check them all out on the website. And also the weekly health blog. That's coming up. The health blog, another one, will be this week to talk a little bit more about our show today. So get healthy and sustain it at the Healthy Home Market. So our guests today, Dr. Elizabeth Repede and Laura Mauriell, join us from the Center for Healing Arts located right here in the Queen City. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I am so excited. You know, there's lots to talk about here today. As I said in the intro, there's such a connection between the mind, body, and the spirit. So I want to start with you, Dr. Repede, or may I call you Elizabeth or Liz?
Liz would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, you have a string of professional letters after your name, and you formally studied health from all sides, or both sides of the aisle, meaning traditional and alternative. Why did you focus on consciousness and healing more than all the other aspects of healthcare in getting your PhD, for example?
That's a great question, Holly. And it came out of my own personal experience, I think. First of all, I started my career as a nurse in critical care. So I took care of very sick patients, and predominantly in open heart surgery and coronary care. And after about 18 years, I was just myself getting burned out, but I kept thinking if I could be on the other end of this, if I could be in primary care and help people change their behaviors and their health habits before they get to this point, then I could be making a difference. So I decided to go back to school, and I got my master's degree as a family nurse practitioner, and then began working in a family practice center in York, South Carolina, which I absolutely loved. I was there for about 12 or 13 years. But as I started there, I began this spiritual journey, and I don't know how to explain it except that all of a sudden I would be, and this sounds silly, but I would be jogging along, I'd be running on the track that I have near my house, and I'd start almost crying, and I'd think, I want to go home. I want to go home. And I'd think, well, you are home. What does that mean? What is home? And I realized I had somehow, through all the years of schooling and raising a family, I had just lost connection with my sense of self as the source of my home, or that inner sense of connection to my spirit. So, and I was also trying to change things, my own behavior, and realizing, well, this isn't very easy. I'm not doing very well with this. And I didn't feel right going into a patient exam room and saying, yes, you need to lose weight, you need to stop smoking for your health, those kind of things, and not giving them the tools to do it. And that's what I see happening in primary care offices all over. Well, duh, we know we have to lose weight. We know it's healthy. Nobody doesn't know that anymore. But how do we do that? And that really started my trajectory. So I started looking at some of the complementary practices. The mind was just fascinating to me. So how do I change my own behavior? I can't help anybody else until I can change mine. Right? So I started looking at hypnotherapy, and I started trusting my intuition more. So instead of going through a structured traditional program, I had the grounding in the sciences starting. But now I started trusting my intuition, and I would just let it lead me to one practice after another that seemed to both connect me deeper to my spirit and offered me a tool to help other people as I could share that. And so I started studying things like hypnotherapy, and I became a hypnotherapist. I started studying, energy modalities such as Reiki and healing touch.
Right. Oh, I love Reiki.
Yeah. So, and multiple others. Acupuncture. Right. I studied a procedure called AcuDetox, and it's just 5 little needles that are put in the ears that are so powerful for people going through any kind of detoxification procedure. So then after several years of this, maybe 10 or 12, I really realized I needed to go back and get more grounded in the science of these things, because I couldn't articulate why they worked to other people. I knew how to do them and I knew they worked, but I couldn't articulate the science behind it. And I realized if I wanted to branch that world between the traditional and the complementary, I had to become the bridge myself, because I could speak both languages. So I went back and got a PhD in nursing, but my doctoral advisor was a leader in the holistic nursing health movement, and under him I studied consciousness and healing.
That's fascinating. It's so amazing to me how there's this whole movement brewing almost to the side of regular hospital doctor type things that we've become accustomed to over the last 40, 50 years. That there really is, you're just a wonderful example of how the alternative and the traditional is coming together. And it fascinates me that you're talking about getting a scientific underpinning for some of this intuitive work that was working for you. And you talk about consciousness. Is consciousness the same thing as spirituality?
Oh, that's a really good question. That is a really good question. Consciousness is, to me, the entire aspect of our awareness and the sublayers that are kind of buried in the unconscious. It extends beyond our bodies. It is connected to every person and everything on the planet. It's more of a field of energy. It's thought, but it's not our thoughts. It is feelings, but it's not just our feelings. Does that make sense?
So there's,
and
it does.
Spirit, to me, it is the foundation of spirit. To me, and some people may not agree with this, but I don't see myself as a human with a spirit. I see myself as a spirit that has come into this, and I have a human form on top of it. So the spirit is the ground of my existence. And that is where my consciousness resides, in the spirit that's bigger than I can even imagine, really, in some ways, of myself. Does that make sense?
It does make sense to me. It's reminding me actually of, you think about everybody walking around with their phone and, we're texting and we're Facebooking and all this social media. It almost seems, you can see there a perfect example of how we're all connected.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the technology that we have, right, it mirrors as our consciousness opens. These things have always been there, but it's our ability as humans to be able to conceive of them, imagine them, and create them. But it's based in this network of connection that exists, the very fabric of the universe. And it's just such a powerful way to live when you can tap into that and realize that, we're so much more than we think we are.
Which means that we have much more power than we think we have, right? And we have the ability to actually get better, that we can heal, that we're not just a function of the summation of our illnesses.
Oh, the stories. When you really look at the stories about people who heal in ways that seem extraordinary, you realize when you actually study the literature and the research out there that these stories are not unique. They are everywhere. And often when you look at the underlying theme in all of those stories, there is a fundamental shift in consciousness that happens for that healing to occur. So if you have a belief system that's very externalized, if we believe in the outer world and all that we believe in is what we can see, taste, touch, or feel with just our five senses, and if we turn our power over to a doctor or even a healer in some way, if we turn our own internal power over to somebody else, we are going to always be at the mercy of their belief system. Mm-hmm. So if you go to a doctor and you're in this very frightened position because you've just learned you have cancer or some other kind of very powerful disease, and the doctor says, well, you have 3 months to live, there's going to be the person who says, oh my gosh, that's it. I've been given my sentence and this is it. And then they just completely succumb to that. There are going to be other people who go, well, wait a minute, you're not God. I'm not God. Do we really know how long my lifespan is? And what can I do to support my health and my thinking? What in my consciousness, what in my behaviors, what in my beliefs has led me to this point? Where do I feel like I'm a victim? And when I can own my own power, when I can step into the truth of who I am and begin to kind of peel back from other people's beliefs, even my family's, then I can begin to create or co-create with the divine, however you want to say it, with my spirit, what my life is going to look like. And I may live, you hear stories all the time of people saying, oh, you have 3 months to live. Well, here they are 20 years later. Well,
yes.
Who decides that?
That's so fascinating. I'm so glad you're here today with us, and you too, Laura. We're going to dig into lots more stuff about consciousness and imagination and spirituality and healing and being home, finding your home inside yourself. So stay with us, folks. This is a great day today, a great hour on the Healthy Home Hour. We'll be right back on Streets 103.3, Charlotte's new hip-hop station.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Aloe Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Aloe Life, where being healthy never tasted so good. ahead.
Skin Gel by Aloe Life is made from fresh, certified, organically grown aloe vera leaves. The formula contains 1% skin nutrients of vitamin E, A, and C combined with additional herbal extracts. The ultimate value of Skin Gel is unmatched by any other topical aloe vera on the market today. The golden yellow color shows the presence of the yellow sap used traditionally for healthy skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural and safe way to support the body, popular for hair, scrapes, burns, scars, sunburn damage, or troubled skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural astringent, perfect to apply to clean, washed skin to tighten, and may even support cell regeneration, as shown in Aloe Life's 1997 skin study. Follow with face and body lotion for maximum benefits. Look for Aloe Life products at your local health food store or online at aloelife.com, or call them today at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-ALOE. The Aloe people. Aloe Life.
Friends, are you in and out of doctors' offices suffering with digestive issues, gas, heartburn, allergies, weight loss challenges, depression, or declining health in general? Well, find out why and what to do about it in the best health book of the century, fully referenced, called Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS. 3 books in one with 12 chapters, well referenced, including recipes, and over 80 health conditions and 20 healthy focus factors required to reach optimum health. Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS, is for people living with any disease, those who desire to reach a healthy weight goal, and others purely seeking disease prevention and learning how to stay healthy. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com. That's beyondglutenintolerance.com, or call 1-800-414-2563. Learn how making just a few dietary adjustments and getting digestion functioning back again makes the world of difference, often in just days. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Novocaine, baby, baby. Novocaine, baby.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour, sponsored by the Healthy Home Market. I'm your host, Holly Adams, and we're here with Dr. Elizabeth Repede and Laura. I'm telling you, we're going to talk. We got lots to talk about here today. Everybody, I mean, we're here with these folks today, these lovely ladies from the Center for the Healing Arts from Charlotte, and we're going to talk about an upcoming workshop that's going to focus on some of the things we're talking about today. And wow, we just had a great segment just a moment ago talking about the connection between spirituality and consciousness and healing. And, you know, I want to get into, you mentioned how the mind can actually change somebody's health.
Oh, absolutely.
Diagnosis. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a researcher, scientist by the name of Bruce Lipton. He wrote a book called The Biology of Belief. There's a movie about it, and he's done extensive work with it. And he actually has been able to demonstrate from a cellular level, at the very level of the cells in the body, that belief systems actually impact how even we used to think our genes were just set in stone, but there are certain genes, and there's a whole field of science now called epigenetics, where we learn we can actually turn off and turn on gene expression by virtue of our perception of the experiences that we've had. So let me give you an example. Somebody has a perception. They have had an experience happen to them that was traumatic. And one person takes that experience and finds a way to make it an empowering thing and to grow from that and to learn and to let themselves stay open through the process to feel the discomfort, to go into the places that scare them, and they come out on the other side, this just self-actualized and really authentic person living a vibrant life. Another person with the same experience can internalize that in a different way and find themselves feeling like a victim and feel like they are now powerless, and begin to send themselves messages, thoughts that are keep recurring, that they are the victim of this circumstance and this has changed their life in a negative way. Those thoughts become habit thoughts, they become habit patterns, and they create actual changes in the biochemistry of the body.
So are you saying that your thoughts actually move through your body almost like a wave or a tide in some way?
Absolutely.
And wow, that's powerful.
Well, we think of, there are all sorts of neurotransmitters in the body that are chemicals and hormones that are actually called neuropeptides that are what generate the feelings that we have, the emotional feelings that we have. But the neuroendocrine plexes, there are, and that's a big word, but what it means is there are clusters of cells all the way through the body that as soon as you have a thought secrete the same neurotransmitters through the body, generating the feelings that we have. For instance, the emotions of love, joy, and gratitude will cause these little tiny channels in the brain itself, in the mind, to vibrate at a faster rate. And when it vibrates at a faster rate, that is the signal for the body to secrete the neurochemicals instantaneously, before you can even think it. It's secreting throughout the body instantaneously these chemical messengers of well-being and healing. If the vibration of the emotion is lower, anger, rage, despair, it's going to vibrate slower, and depending on what the vibration is, that's going to send a message to these pathways in the brain to secrete a completely different set of neurochemicals, which puts us into a stress response, and that stimulates a different chemical cascade throughout the entire body. So when we become aware first of our thoughts and then make changes to guide our thoughts in ways that are more positive, it sends a message of healing throughout the body at the same time.
So that can be tricky though, right?
Yes.
Because people get stuck in certain thoughts, and there's all kinds of evidence in their lives that show them that they feel despair or grief or things have happened. What can you do to increase your consciousness, to build your consciousness, to help you get out of that place that's really hard to get out of sometimes?
And that is a huge, huge message that I want to send out. I think sometimes when people hear this, they think, oh my gosh, I've created this illness. And they begin to feel guilty or ashamed or even more powerless.
Oh, I'm so glad we're talking about this.
And
yes.
That is not what I'm talking about. All emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. Feelings are not right or wrong. And if you have a reaction to something, anger is normal. It's a protective mechanism. It tells us where our boundaries have been breached. But the idea is to become aware of what you're feeling as soon as you feel it, to then kind of check in with the thought process that's happening up in your mind. What's the thought driving this? Do I feel like a victim? Am I really a victim? No, I'm not a victim. I can be in control of this situation in this way. I cannot change your behavior, but I can change mine. I can change my thoughts, and that will change how I interact with this process that's going on in me right now. We have to honor those feelings. The emotions are not bad. And one of the problems, I think, with the positive psychology movement is that people tend to shove down emotions, saying, oh, I shouldn't be feeling that because it's not good for me, or, and that is not the case at all. We have to honor them. And that's where mindfulness meditation comes in so powerfully. This ability to to first of all begin to see what we're thinking, watch the thoughts, notice what's happening in the body, but then create a distance between the thought and the reality of what is really going on. And it's in that space or that gap between the thought and what the perception is, the reality, that we begin to create an internal space where we have options. You know, if you come into a situation and you're angry, so okay, you sit down and you look at the situation, but if you stay stuck in anger, you have very limited options. You can react with anger in your voice, you can maybe lash out at somebody, you can quit your job, you can leave a relationship when it's in anger. But if you can create the space, say to myself, for instance, wow, I am so angry. I am feeling rage with this. I need to sit down. I need to step back before I do anything. I need to breathe into these feelings. I need to understand what's really driving this. Is this really about what's happening in this situation? Or is there something from my past that's triggering it again? Somebody in my past, when I was a little girl and I couldn't do anything about it, did something to me and I didn't have any power then. Well, okay, so I can comfort that little person that's still inside me and say to her, it's okay, I've got this. We can do this.
It's interesting. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense trying to have a relationship with reality and creating space. And then, because a lot of us, myself included, you know, sometimes we can get into a loop of thinking, oh, this happens a lot to me, or here it is again, you know, and how to break that cycle. And you mentioned something, you mentioned meditation. We're going to talk some more about that. And you also mentioned imagination.
Oh, yes.
And I'm wondering about what you mean by that. Is it the same thing as dreaming, or dreaming about your life?
I think there maybe imagination to me is a little broader than dreaming. Dreaming is one facet of imagination to me. Imagination is that part of yourself that can expand and connect with just wonderful images, pictures, sounds, whatever, or ideas that take you out of the same level of thinking. Einstein said that we can't solve a problem by using the same level of consciousness that got it into us. It got us into the problem in the first place. So we need to have a way that we can think outside the box. We live in a culture that honors that linear, rational mind, but it has totally ignored the power of imagination. So my belief is that if you can imagine something, you can then begin to create it in some fashion, way, shape, or form. But if you can't even imagine it, you won't create it because you don't have the vision for it or the ability. I think imagination, so for instance, in the work I do, I use a lot of imagination in terms of using guided imagery and helping people visualize what they want. We live in an energetic universe, so we live in this beautiful field of energy, and we really are more energy than we are matter. And energy follows thought. Matter follows thought. So if energy, if you put all of your attention on the things that are happening to you that you don't want, what you're literally doing is we're magnets. We are electromagnetic beings, and we are calling to us the things that we think about over and over. So if we're thinking about things about how life is unfair, or we're thinking we won't get another job and we're upset because we haven't got another job, or because our relationship is so terrible, that's what we're calling to ourselves electromagnetically. It's not a punishment from the universe. It's simply the law of physics. What you attract is done through our repetitive thoughts. So mindfulness and being aware of our thoughts is the very first key. And I've practiced this for years, as have you, Laura, and I can still find myself caught up after hours of spinning in the same cycle until I just take the breath and I stop and I say, wait a minute, what am I focusing on here, and what am I calling to myself? I deliberately choose in this moment to reclaim my power and to reclaim my thoughts. And sometimes it's not easy. It is not easy. Those habit patterns are ingrained. We've developed them from the time we were little children. And so it's not complicated, but it is not easy, and it takes a practice. You can't just, it's like driving a car. I can't get in a car the first time without practicing, right? I have to practice and practice until I can do it.
Right. That old thing of, practice, 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 and you too can get to Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
I mean, everything is practice.
Exactly.
What we're doing every day, we become better at that.
Yes.
And
yes.
This is important info for change, folks. How to really change your life for the better, and step into joy and peacefulness, and get those really cool neural plexus things happening.
That's right, exactly.
All those great clusters.
Exactly.
So stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. We're talking about some really cool stuff today. This is Streets 103.3, your hip hop station.
Skin Gel by Aloe Life is made from fresh, certified, organically grown aloe vera leaves. The formula contains 1% skin nutrients of vitamin E, A, and C combined with additional herbal extracts. The ultimate value of Skin Gel is unmatched by any other topical aloe vera on the market today. The golden yellow color shows the presence of the yellow sap used traditionally for healthy skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural and safe way to support the body, popular for hair, scrapes, burns, scars, sunburn damage, or troubled skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural astringent, perfect to apply to clean, washed skin to tighten, and may even support cell regeneration, as shown in Aloe Life's 1997 skin study. Follow with face and body lotion for maximum benefits. Look for Aloe Life products at your local health food store or online at aloelife.com, or call them today at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-ALOE. The Aloe people. Aloe Life.
Friends, are you in and out of doctors' offices suffering with digestive issues, gas, heartburn, allergies, weight loss challenges, depression, or declining health in general? Well, find out why and what to do about it in the best health book of the century, fully referenced, called Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS. 3 books in one with 12 chapters, well referenced, including recipes, and over 80 health conditions and 20 healthy focus factors required to reach optimum health. Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS, is for people living with any disease, those who desire to reach a healthy weight goal, and others purely seeking disease prevention and learning how to stay healthy. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com. That's beyondglutenintolerance.com, or call 1-800-414-2563. Learn how making just a few dietary adjustments and getting digestion functioning back again makes the world of difference, often in just days. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes, even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Aloe Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Aloe Life, where being healthy never tasted so good.
Novocaine, baby, baby, Novocaine.
listening to the Healthy Home Hour. I'm Holly Adams, and I'm here with two really amazing women. We've just been talking off air for a minute about how it is that, we've been reading about cool spiritual stuff for years, and here it is. You all are professionals with major degrees that have been putting this practice of health and healing and meditation and imagination together with science. And I find it so fascinating that it is actually able to be repeated and proved so that everybody can jump on board. It's not just because it used to be kind of for woo-woo crunchy people, but now it really has been proved that it works. And Laura Mauriell, I want to ask you, as you're a health professional, many years, lots of education. I know you started in pediatric intensive care and you went to senior care housing, and now you're also a certified health coach, a holistic health coach. And I've heard you talk about helping folks live their best life, their best lives. How do you get people to do it? What are they generally missing?
Well, to use Liz's words, it's mostly mindfulness. So if you are able to get them to mindfully look at their lives, the good and the bad, of where their deficiencies are, and when they're not being mindful about the food they're eating, the lifestyles that they have, the choices that they make, even the language that they use. A lot of times, if we're using negative language when we're speaking to somebody else, we're bringing negative back to us. So when we start changing our thought patterns and our speech and start looking at things from a energetically positive way, then that is a way that you can start living your best lives.
What about for people that might hear that? I mean, we kind of alluded to it before, Liz, but Laura, what about, because I can hear some people saying, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, okay, but what about when, I'm really upset and I have a right to be upset because they've been treating me like this forever and a day, or this situation has happened again and again, say at work or something. How do you make the distinction about, okay, that happened, I can acknowledge that and give yourself the room for that acknowledgement, but then move on?
Well, it is a practice, and like you said, Holly, it is something that you have to acknowledge, and you have to acknowledge that this is not right, that this is unfair, that this is unjust. I am angry, but you have to give yourself an expiration time on that. It's not something that a place where you can stay. You've got to move past that, and it is something that it's a practice, and people don't like to spend a lot of time making changes, but when they consciously make changes, they will see how that they're practicing mindfulness can change the outcome a lot. Meditation is one way of doing it, and being still, which is something we're going to talk about in a little while, about stillness. And if we can learn how to be still, and even in the midst of the chaos and the anger that's going on around us, we can learn the skills to move past that.
Right. So we'll get into some details about that, and I want to ask you as well, being a holistic health coach, about food, one of my favorite subjects. How does, it does more than building our bodies, doesn't it? Are there foods possibly that affect our spirit or our consciousness? That
is a great question, Holly, because I like to tell all my patients that food isn't just what's on your plate. Food is something that is relationships are food, because that's feeding your spirit. Your careers and your ability to thrive in the community, that's food. If you aren't feeding yourself the right foods with the right relationships, with the right career choices, then you are going to feel heavy and down. But if you're feeding yourself, like feeding yourself a good meal, if you're feeding yourself with a good meal and a good relationship and good things in your community, that's feeding your spirit. That's food also. So nutrition is not just what's on your plate.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that people should stay away from food-wise that you think depletes your spirit?
Oh, that's a whole another radio show, but
Okay.
I think right off the top of my head, I can say sugar is one of those foods that we feed ourselves for comfort, we crave sugar, whatever, but it is depleting and it is inflammatory to our bodies.
Mm-hmm. So that would be not just, I'm wondering, sugar, there's so many different sugars. I mean, is it not just a candy bar? Is it also maybe fruit? Is it too much
No,
fruit,
it's
or-
I would say refined sugars are the
Okay.
things. Fruit sugars, natural sugars, in moderation are really good for our bodies. But sugar is got 28 different names. It's called anything from high fructose to there's so many different names for it. But refined sugars are the things that we need to stay away from.
Right. That find their way into donuts and cookies and ice cream and cake and right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's because it's so important because that's part of the body piece too to health. Liz, I recently saw your article in Charlotte Living Magazine about the importance of creating sanctuary in your home, and you alluded earlier to the idea of that you didn't feel at home, and that somehow that's connected to this concept of an inner sanctuary. And most of us think about sanctuary as it relates to church. What is the inner sanctuary?
It's that place where we really intentionally connect to our spirit in a meaningful and conscious way. Even people who go to church can often go, they may go for companionship or whatever, but there's no sense of real awakeness or aliveness in that place. It becomes more of it's a duty, it's what you're supposed to do, it's required. But, and so certainly for many, many people, church is a place of sanctuary and a place where they intentionally connect with spirit. But it's the power of the intention behind what we're doing. And I do believe that we have to find places that we can go into our own sense of self to find out what it is we want. We live in a world where we are overwhelmed by the surroundings. There's noise, there are demands, unbelievable demands on our time from our organizations that we work in, even from our families who we love and we want to give, but we're in a constant state of turmoil trying to find the balance between giving here to our family versus giving to work versus to our church community, whatever that is. And so the place that we step away from the easiest and the most often is that place of connecting with ourselves in that intentional way. So home can be a source of sanctuary for some people. For some people it may not be. It may be a source or a place of strife. But when we can begin to, through practices of loving kindness and intentional connection with our spirit, through prayer or meditation or art or just being out in nature, we then are developing a sense of inner home that you take wherever you go. So when you're in the office, you can sit down and you can cultivate at lunchtime or on a break. You can intentionally sit down and connect with that part of yourself. We actually feel it. When I do guided imagery and when I'm teaching meditation, I intentionally help people connect with the sense of what they love the most, because that begins to open the heart center. And then the very first thing I say is, now we're going to send that energy first to ourselves. You cannot give what you don't have. If you can't give water from a dry well, in the airplane they tell you, put your own oxygen mask on first. So if we're continually giving from a depleted place, where we're not taking the time to cultivate what it is we want, what gives us meaning in life, and what feeds us with joy, we cannot give that to anybody else. And even though we think we are helping people, we are really just going through the motions, and we're living a very unconscious life.
So you're saying that because sometimes, people get into a feeling of, well, I'm doing a good job and I'm good, so this is a good thing. But maybe if they're pulling from a dry well, it's not so good. Exactly.
And I think that becomes an ego trap. And an ego trap is common to all of us. We all have an ego. Some of us have more connection to our egos than others, and that's okay. But the more we can step back from ego and come from a place of spirit, it's just a higher way of deciding how you want to live your life. And everybody gets a choice. But when you write a check that your ego can't cash, or when your ego writes a check that your body can't cash, you then you then set yourself up for illness. There's a great spiritual writer, Carolyn Mace, who has written many, many books on one called The Anatomy of the Spirit. But she is actually clairvoyant. She sees energy. And she said, I can see where people's human energy system is being depleted. And she said, I promise you, it's like making chronic withdrawals from a bank account that's overdrawn. And when you do that, the energy will come from somewhere, and it will come from your cell tissue. It will literally come from your cell tissue. And she's right. I see it over and over. And we have to also be able to find a way, women, I think, culturally more than men, to say no in a very loving way, but no. Because I think that idea of guilt and needing to be there for everybody else is another form, and if we think we're helping other people, but it's really a form of an ego trap, and one that we've been culturally raised to, but is nonetheless soul sucking. It will steal you dry. Mm-hmm. So you have to start peeling back all of the voices you ever heard as a child, and all the voices around you that are clamoring to be helped. You don't help anyone else when you enable them. You're getting in their way of becoming their own independent person. And even sometimes you have to make choices that feel like they're going to hurt somebody else, or step away from a relationship that seems not healthy. And that is sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do. Not just for yourself, but for the other person. Because as long as you're there, they never have to tap into their own resources.
Right. Yes. I mean, you're talking about some very fundamental things. And it's not easy to do that. It really isn't. But it is important for everybody long term.
And I think we need helpers and friends and mentors along the way. So finding somebody that you see and can look up to, therapists, counselors. I've been in counseling 10 million times in my life. I use counseling as a way to literally have somebody help me reflect back what I need and what I want, and to begin to tune out some of those other voices until I can get strong enough in myself to make the next step. So that, and it can be a spiritual counselor. It can be a friend who, you've got to pick the right friend though. Some friends want to keep you in the same place because it's a comfortable place for them. So you have to have a friend, like my friend Laura, here sitting Laura with us, who can reflect back to me when I need to hear, wow, I really do need a kick in the pants. I really need to hear this in a different way. Or I need to wake up in some way that this relationship, this food, this whatever it is not serving me. And do it in a loving, not a judgmental way, not at all. As soon as judgment comes in, it becomes shame. And once shame enters the picture, we begin to just deflate.
Right. It's not enriching.
Not at all. Not at all. So it has to be in a loving and kind way, and with no attachment. So as a friend that I'm offering to somebody else, I can offer it, but if they choose not to take that advice, then I have to let that go as well, right?
Right.
Every person. My mother doesn't get my life. My husband doesn't get my life. My children don't get my life. I get my life. They get my energy. They get my love. They get my compassion. They get what I can give them, but they don't get my life. Every person gets their own life.
That's so well said. It's so succinct and very powerful. I'm so glad you told us about that. So stay with us, folks. We'll be right back, right here with Liz and Laura on the Healthy Home Hour.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.allolife.com or call 1-800-414-ALLO. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Allo Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Allo Life, where being healthy never tasted so good.
Skin Gel by Aloe Life is made from fresh, certified, organically grown aloe vera leaves. The formula contains 1% skin nutrients of vitamin E, A, and C combined with additional herbal extracts. The ultimate value of Skin Gel is unmatched by any other topical aloe vera on the market today. The golden yellow color shows the presence of the yellow sap used traditionally for healthy skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural and safe way to support the body, popular for hair, scrapes, burns, scars, sunburn damage, or troubled skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural astringent, perfect to apply to clean, washed skin to tighten, and may even support cell regeneration, as shown in Aloe Life's 1997 skin study. Follow with face and body lotion for maximum benefits. Look for Aloe Life products at your local health food store or online at allolife.com, or call them today at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-ALLO. The Aloe people. Aloe Life.
Friends, are you in and out of doctors' offices suffering with digestive issues, gas, heartburn, allergies, weight loss challenges, depression, or declining health in general? Well, find out why and what to do about it in the best health book of the century, fully referenced, called Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS. 3 books in one with 12 chapters, well referenced, including recipes, and over 80 health conditions and 20 healthy focus factors required to reach optimum health. Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS, is for people living with any disease, those who desire to reach a healthy weight goal, and others purely seeking disease prevention and learning how to stay healthy. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com. That's beyondglutenintolerance.com, or call 1-800-414-2563. Learn how making just a few dietary adjustments and getting digestion functioning back again makes the world of difference, often in just days. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit allolife.com or call 1-800-414-ALLO. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Novocaine, baby, baby. Novocaine, baby. I want you.
Welcome back. We're here on the Healthy Home Hour with you today, this Sunday morning, talking about mindfulness and the body-spirit connection, and fascinating things we're talking about today, that your mind, your thoughts really do create your reality. I know you've heard it before, but now there's science to back it up. We're hearing about it today with Dr. Liz Repede and Laura Mauriell. You mentioned something about homesickness at the beginning of the show, and that, because I have often thought about this idea that illness is generally a kind of a lonely thing. You're kind of stuck in it on your own. As much as people love you and as much as they want to support you, you still are having the experience by yourself. And I'm wondering if there isn't a connection between aloneness and healing, and that creating the sanctuary actually helps you come home to yourself, so you're not so fragmented inside yourself.
You are a wise woman. That is so
well,
good.
Thank you. I try hard.
No, that is, and Laura and I can spend a lot of time trying to get that idea or those concepts across to people, because for some people, many people, that's a new concept or a new idea, but you're absolutely right. so many of the things that we do in life, we have to experience alone. And so becoming comfortable in that aloneness. There is a difference between being alone and being lonely. Mm-hmm. There will be times in our lives, every person on the planet will feel lonely, which is feeling that sense of not being connected. But and that's not bad. That offers us the opportunity to go back into ourselves and find the part of ourselves that's looking for longing or connecting in a different way. So It's an opportunity to do that. And if for instance, I have a patient who comes to me and their life is filled with activity after activity after activity, I wonder if they like the company that they keep when they're alone, and what it is that is keeping them, what fear. Because I really believe there are two essential motivating factors in life, and one is love and one is fear. And even anger or despair or grief, underneath that is the fear. With anger, it's the fear of your boundaries being breached. With depression, it's the fear that you're not getting what you want, or that life isn't coming the way you want it to. So if we can just recognize that, sometimes you don't even have to do anything about it. You just recognize it and sit with it and hold that space. I think our emotions tend to be overwhelming sometimes, our feelings.
Yes.
And so we disconnect from them. Mm-hmm. Where if we can learn to befriend them and be comfortable. I teach a course at Queen's University, co-teach it with Dr. William Sparks on transformational change. And one of the things that we do, and this is in the MBA program, in the MSOD program there, the business college. And one of the things that I do in that class is I spend a good portion of the first day, we do it as a 3-day intensive, I spend a good portion of the first day helping people just kind of get in touch with what they feel, where they feel it in their body, and beginning to try and translate it as energy, and just simply energy that they're feeling versus the story behind it. And when you can do that, and when you become comfortable with it, then you can hold bigger and bigger emotional storms without collapsing, because we're afraid we're either going to lose it or we're going to collapse. And so the more comfortable you can become with your own feelings, the easier it is to hold the space for those feelings to happen and let them inform you of what you need to understand, because they're simply messengers. They're there to teach us that there's some thought or thought process driving us that is not in our, that is perhaps getting in our way.
Right, that we're not having that relationship with reality that
exactly.
you talked about. You know, you've got the Center for the Healing Arts. You've got a very interesting workshop coming up. It's this Saturday on the 7th called Coming Home to Ourselves, and creating a healing inner sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And it looks really wonderful. Tell us a little bit about that. Will you be doing some of the things we've been talking about?
Yes, we'll be doing some of the things. And again, it's that idea of learning how to connect first with yourself. And this is it's a 1-day workshop, so it's a little dip in the pond. It's enough to put your toe in, but we'll be using art and imagery and, connecting with nature and trying to tune out some of the outer voices. The other thing I find is in group processes like this, the power of a group, of strangers even coming together, is amazing. I believe that our wounding occurs in relationships, so our healing occurs in relationship as well. So when we come together and we create a safe space together, then we can begin to, each of us, so we're together, but yet we're still tapping into our own unique experience of what that is. And it's a very profound experience, very profound.
I bet. It seems like you would actually be able to, that you're not alone in it somehow.
Exactly. You're alone, but you're not alone. And that's the spiritual journey. The spiritual journey is in being able to accommodate the tension of the opposites. So we have to learn. Abraham Maslow, who taught us about self-actualizing, says that the most self-actualized people have to be able to tolerate this tension of the opposites. The work on resilience. People who are the most resilient are the ones that can tolerate the tension of the opposites. We have to honor our selfishness and cultivate that space as well as our selflessness. We have to honor those opposites in ways that that allow us to recharge, to regroup, and stay connected. Then we find what, we all have, we're all here for a different reason. It's all the same reason, but it's all unique, how we're going to express that. But we won't know what it is. We'll miss it if we don't wake up.
Right.
You don't want to wait till you're at the end. We have the students in the transformational change class write an obituary because they start at the ending. They look at the ending and see, what does this look like? What do I want my life to have represented? And what I find over and over is not about, I achieved, I was the CEO of a big organization, or I was this. It was, I was found to be a loving and kind person. I enjoyed my life. I took time to smell the flowers. I loved playing with my dog or my cat. My grandchildren brought me great joy. Those are the things they see when they see that. It's not about, you have your dreams, but those dreams are nothing if you don't put them in the context of that relationship with yourself. They become just, dry ambition.
That's powerful.
That is powerful. Will you be at the workshop too, Laura?
Yes, I will be there. And for the Center for the Healing Arts, we one part of our mission is being a community-based education center. And so if we can, in this one-day workshop, which is just dipping your toe in the pond, but if we can bring this message to people to start looking inside themselves, feeling who they are and what they want to express out into the world by using things like art and imagination and play and meditation, this is part of our mission, is to get that word out there.
How would someone register?
You can call us at the Center for the Healing Arts at 704-315-5756. Spaces are limited, and we are happy to field your calls if you call us today. Thank you.
Okay. What about, you talk about playfulness too, and I'm wondering about how that helps. I mean, can adults learn from kids? Have we forgotten how to play, some of us?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Adults are just big kids.
They are.
And somebody needs to give them permission to be that child.
Yes, absolutely. And play is one of those places where if you can't play, your creativity isn't going to flow. They go together. They absolutely go together because you have to let your imagination go. You have to think outside of the box. You have to be able to kind of let go.
So just say, what if, or this sounds kind of crazy, but I was thinking, or I had this feeling, and what do you think?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is great. We're going to take a short little break. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked to Streets 103.3, Charlotte's new hip-hop station.
Skin Gel by Aloe Life is made from fresh, certified, organically grown aloe vera leaves. The formula contains 1% skin nutrients of vitamin E, A, and C combined with additional herbal extracts. The ultimate value of Skin Gel is unmatched by any other topical aloe vera on the market today. The golden yellow color shows the presence of the yellow sap used traditionally for healthy skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural and safe way to support the body, popular for hair, scrapes, burns, scars, sunburn damage, or troubled skin. Skin Gel by Aloe Life is a natural astringent, perfect to apply to clean, washed skin to tighten, and may even support cell regeneration, as shown in Aloe Life's 1997 skin study. Follow with face and body lotion for maximum benefits. Look for Aloe Life products at your local health food store or online at aloelife.com, or call them today at 1-800-414-2563. That's 1-800-414-ALOE. The Aloe people. Aloe Life.
Friends, are you in and out of doctors' offices suffering with digestive issues, gas, heartburn, allergies, weight loss challenges, depression, or declining health in general? Well, find out why and what to do about it in the best health book of the century, fully referenced, called Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS. 3 books in one with 12 chapters, well referenced, including recipes, and over 80 health conditions and 20 healthy focus factors required to reach optimum health. Beyond Gluten Intolerance, GIS, is for people living with any disease, those who desire to reach a healthy weight goal, and others purely seeking disease prevention and learning how to stay healthy. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com. That's beyondglutenintolerance.com, or call 1-800-414-2563 3. Learn how making just a few dietary adjustments and getting digestion functioning back again makes the world of difference, often in just days. Visit www.beyondglutenintolerance.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This is your favorite superhero, Captain Immune System. I'm always hard at work defending you against millions of bacteria, viruses, toxins, and parasites that would love to invade your body. But sometimes even superheroes need a helping hand, especially with winter approaching. It's your job to help protect the protector. So start by eating a better diet, exercising, getting plenty of rest, and adding some quality supplements to your life. One being my partner in crime, aloe vera. Aloe vera is full of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, and micronutrients that can help me, the immune system, to be strong and resilient against infection. Many scientists and researchers believe that aloe vera supports the body to fight illnesses and diseases. When choosing an aloe vera product, quality is everything. Aloe Life has been crafting the highest quality aloe vera products for decades. To learn more, visit aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. Aloe Life is available in finer health food stores nationwide.
Friends, do you eat the amount of vegetables recommended by every major health organization, 5 to 9 servings daily to maintain health? Well, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, less than 9% of American adults do. Luckily, there's a great solution, and it even tastes good. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula by Aloe Life. It's an easy and delicious way to get in the daily recommended servings of dark green leafy vegetables. Healthy and Slim Daily Greens Formula is top quality, certified organic greens blended with whole leaf aloe vera and Nepal cactus to support energy and stamina. Each heaping teaspoon supplies 3 servings of dark green vegetables that contain life-supporting nutrients, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and even essential fatty acids that people need to support body wellness. To learn more, visit www.aloelife.com or call 1-800-414-ALOE. That's 1-800-414-2563. You can also find Aloe Life products at finer health food stores nationwide. Aloe Life, where being healthy never tasted so good.
Novocaine, baby, baby. Novocaine, baby.
We're back. You're listening to the Healthy Home Hour. And Laura, I want to ask you a little bit about the Center for the Healing Arts. You've really created a sanctuary there. I mean, I know because I've been there. What kinds of things have you got going on at the center?
Well, Holly, in the beginning, we were talking about having a place for alternatives for people to go to heal in different ways, and it's not replacing traditional medicine; it's blending traditional medicine and non-traditional medicine with avenues for people to tap into who they are and be participating in their own healing. So we're asking our patients to come in with their thoughts, their ideas, learn their bodies, and find out how they can tap into themselves in order to heal also. So we are doing several things at the Center for the Healing Arts. Dr. Babak Makari is an osteopathic physician, and for people who don't know what that is, he is a medical doctor, but his degree is in osteopathic medicine, and they're taught to diagnosed with their hands using the musculoskeletal system and aligning and balancing. And there's a lot to be discovered with hands-on medicine. And so he learns their body and is able to do things like muscle release and counter strain and things very holistically. It's a holistic approach to medicine. So that's one thing that we're doing here. And he is treating people with chronic pain, he's treating people with migraines, he's treating people with any number of ailments very successfully. Another thing we do is medical acupuncture, which a lot of people have been exposed to acupuncturists, and there's so many different ways to heal with acupuncture. Medical acupuncture is administered through a physician, so Dr. Makari is doing medical acupuncture in conjunction with some of his osteopathic manipulation therapies. We also have life and transition coaching, health coaching, lifestyle teaching, hypnotherapy. We have an integrative pharmacist, which actually does sound counterintuitive,
Wow.
but she is somebody that can look at a whole list of medications that a patient may be on, and perhaps supplements and vitamins that they're also on, make sure there's no interactions or contraindications.
That's fascinating. You've really got a lot going on. You all are doing the workshop together. You're doing the workshop coming this Saturday on the 7th. the coming home to ourselves, creating a healing inner sanctuary. I want to. We've not mentioned the word, but we've talked a lot, sort of around about it. How does God factor into consciousness?
So, you want to answer that?
Go for it, Laura.
Well, when we were talking earlier about spirituality and consciousness, and spirituality is that connection to the power that's higher than yourself, and for some that is God, and for some that is called the universe, or it can be called any number of things. But when you're talking about God and spirituality, that is the connection that is bigger than we are.
And to me, spirituality is how we make meaning. How do we make meaning out of life? What is source for us? And as Laura so eloquently put it, for many people we call it God. For many people, they can call it the source, the universe, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what we call it, but it's how we connect through that inner quiet place to that source of all things, to that magnificent flow that runs the universe, that keeps the stars spinning in their place and the planets revolving the way they should, and keeps us upright. And that's where healing occurs to me. A surgeon doesn't, even if he takes out an appendix, he isn't healing the person. The healing comes from within. He is simply removing an obstacle to the healing that occurs. But the healing is the force of this magnificent force of nature, that flows through every one of us and through animals and plants. That our innate nature is toward healing. And the word healing actually comes from the Anglo-Saxon word halos, Haelos, I think is how it's spelled, but it means wholeness. And it's where we connect with that sense of wholeness of who we are. And we find our way in the universe.
That's so beautifully said. I mean, and it's so hopeful, and it makes you feel so a part of, and in the community, that you really are an integral part of what the life force and what's going on. I mean, what we talk a lot on this show about is how healing, that we're practically healing machines, that we just, and machine isn't a great word today given what we're talking about, but we're healing vehicles and
yes.
vessels. We healing really, if we're not healing, something's really wrong. And it seems like what you're saying is it goes back to the spiritual, to the consciousness.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that's the foundation. So if you could see us as a reality, we see ourselves in 3D, but we're actually so much more than that. But our foundational matrix is the spiritual energy. And then our form gets laid on top of that, and it is influenced by our thoughts, our feelings, all of that. But the actual matrix, the actual foundation, is that magnificent spiritual energy that connects every one of us to every person on the planet. So when we begin to tap into that and can extend our awareness outside of our own physical boundaries, we begin to realize that we really can't be alone. We are intimately connected with every person, every animal, every rock on this planet. It can be no other way when you look at it from a quantum physics perspective. It is, and that's science. That is absolute science. It's all about energy. And God, to me, is that essence of love, unconditional love, and wisdom that just runs the universe. And you can have as many names for it as you want.
Right. Exactly. It's just a different flavor.
Exactly.
of the same thing. Yeah. Well, I am so glad that you've been here today. Thank you so much for sharing your time and expertise with us here on the Healthy Home Hour.
Holly, this has been so much fun, and you have been just a great hostess. I am just so thrilled that you invited this us to come and have a platform to talk about the things that make us so excited, that we're so passionate about.
Well, I'm thrilled you're here. We have to do it again. Maybe we can do it, in 6 months or, whenever it works for you. Come back. We'll talk about these really important things to joy and life and wellness and family and playing your part in the bigger picture.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you. So, folks, get to this event Saturday, Coming Home to Ourselves, Creating a Healing Inner Sanctuary with the Center for Healing Arts. It's at the Ivy. You can call 704-315-5756 tomorrow, Monday, to register. And it's time to feel well. Here's the space to do it. Put it all together, mind, body, spirit, with consciousness, and step into your power and grace. So thanks for being here. And until next week, I'll see you at the market. This is Streets 1033, your Charlotte's new hip-hop station.
Pay it forward and restore yourself by making the healthy choices for you and your family, and enjoy life with the Healthy Home Market. Feel the goodwill and own great health. Check it out at healthyhomemkt.com. That's healthyhomemkt.com for store locations, details, and discounts. Get the best of God's green blue earth at the Healthy Home Market.